Wow, good morning. Little technical difficulties here. Um, Sorry about that. I'm sure again we're having uh, internet issues um, as a result of everybody up and moving around. So, looking forward to getting things started here this morning, and hopefully everybody's having a good day. So, headlines today we're going to talk about cruise ships stuck at sea, COVID 19 count update. Wisconsin Elections Commission still plans to send candidates door to door. Still no leadership from Assembly. $25 million blank check in COVID bill while Americans lose their health insurance. Today, we start calling some hospitals to find out just what's going on in Wisconsin. Um, so, um, if we move on to the cruise ship headlines this morning, there is a Holland America has two ships. Um, it has a America Line ship and then also the Zandam, and they have um, different varying amounts of cases of flu-like symptoms. Not necessarily they know it's COVID-19. They probably don't have all the tests they need. But between those two cruise ships, they've got almost 2,500 people. And currently, they have four that passed away on the Holland America. And as of yet, they don't have any that have um, passed away on the Zandam. Um, and again, um, they're saying they had 42 with flu-like symptoms on the Zandam, and then now they're saying it's risen to 189. Now, what's interesting about this is that to me, it seems that the cruise ships present the best opportunity to see what the spread looks like. If we think about it, cruise ships range from 1 week to 2 weeks, and these poor people have been on these ships for what probably has now been 3 or 4 weeks. And we're not getting reports that all 2,500 people have contracted the virus. So if you think about it, even before they knew, they were going around eating at buffets, dancing at the pool, touching chairs, touching lounge chairs, doing all these things without any knowledge of being exposed to COVID 19 in any way. And we're still not getting reports that the entire ship is sick. And I know they've confined many of the people on the ship to um, their rooms, but again, we're not seeing the kind of spread um, they're talking about. And of course, we all wish them the best of luck in finding a place to port and get the help they need for the people who are truly sick. But again, I think it's important to look at these conditions where we have a test case. I mean, you've got people confined, you've got central circulating air systems, and we're just not seeing the infections that are being portrayed in the media right now. So again, when we look at going on to a COVID count update, we have again the CDC, and this is directly from the CDC. This is not my data. I'm not making it up. The CDC chart I showed yesterday is again the chart I'm using today to illustrate where we're at. And again, we're still at about 500,000 cases hospitalized for the flu. And right now, we're only at about 140,000 cases of COVID 19. And it's interesting if you go to the CDC site and the link for my previous show, which will be in this show when I finish today, they refer to presumptive cases. So I don't know what that's trying to portray. And here in Wisconsin, the cases are seeming to be most heavily in the Milwaukee and Madison area. And still up in the upper part of the state, we're not seeing any kind of development of cases over the last 3 or 4 weeks like we have down in Madison and Milwaukee. So again, it's something to think about and to understand that you need to seek out that information and demand more information from our elected officials as it relates to what's really going on. We should be concerned about how the state's been shut down. We should be concerned how this is being handled. Wisconsin Elections Commission. I emailed the Wisconsin Elections Commission because the nomination process is coming up. If you're not familiar with how the nomination process works, we have a process where you go out and get signatures, and there are amounts of signatures that vary. So, for example, if you're a state senator, you have to go out and get 500 signatures. If you're running for Congress, like myself, you have to go out and get 1,000 signatures. So you're out banging on doors and meeting with people, all of which, based on the president's current announcement and the directive from the governor, we're not supposed to be doing. And this is supposed to start on April 15th. The Wisconsin Elections Commission said to me that nothing's going to change in relationship to those requirements unless something from the assembly makes that change. And as of yet, we've heard nothing from the assembly as to how they're going to handle the nomination papers. And I've communicated with the assembly asking that question. And Senator Petrowski represents me here in the state of Wisconsin, and I haven't heard anything back from him. Hoping to hear back from him, and I'm hoping to make a call to him here this week as part of the show, and we'll see if he has some answers as to how that's going to be handled. I doubt very much that people in the district, or and especially around the state, since this will be a part of the regular election, every office that's being run for would be out running around trying to get signatures. And I can't see of any greater way, if what the state government is saying is true, for the virus to pass, because you're going to hand them a clipboard, you're going to hand them a pen, all of which, if you have touched your nose or if you've touched your mouth or maybe even rubbed your eyes, that virus could pass from that pen, it could pass from the paper, it could pass from the clipboard, based on what we're seeing. I mean, it's not that I'm saying that's exactly true because I'm not a doctor, but based on the information that's being provided to me, that's what we're being told and how we're being told the virus passes. So hopefully here very quickly we'll get some direction how as to how that's going to be handled. And I think it would be irresponsible for the assembly to stay silent on it. So we'll see. Now, if we go back again to my favorite part of the day, let's go take a look at what our representatives are texting about today, and see if anybody's got anything to say that's of any real importance. So hang on with me just a quick second. So again, Tom Tiffany here, list about 20 hours ago. Check out this list of small businesses that could use your support during the coronavirus pandemic. Well, I got to tell you, I'm losing my insurance today. I need some help too. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. And I'm sure over the last month, there have been plenty of people who have been laid off that as of today, they will be off their insurance. And starting tomorrow, they won't have any insurance coverage. So if we want to put any greater demand on the hospitals, let's just go ahead and ignore the part about getting people health insurance so they can pay their bills. Or, I mean, let's just let them rack up thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in bills between now and when they can go back to work and never get out from under it. So, hey, Tom, again, don't really care about whether or not I'm going out to see a small business. Today is a day when we should be talking about what's going to happen with health insurance for the people of Wisconsin. That's who you want to represent, and you're supposed to be representing in the assembly. Same goes for Tricia. Tricia, you want to represent us here, but we're hearing nothing from you. And I'm going to go to your Twitter account here in a few minutes. Here we go again with Tom. Great to see Infinity Retail Services help whatever issues you might find important today. And I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. All the way in the northern area could help those hospitals around the state that are feeling that pressure. And how we come out of this and we start to see the curve flatten out or go down. So as we talked about in yesterday's show, one of the parts of the bill that was passed, there's been rumored budget increase in their available resources or their budgets they received $25 million computers to internet do nothing. And to go back to $370 a week, like here in Wisconsin.
Please stay on the line while we locate the person you are trying to reach.